Welcome to Revise and Resubmit, where we take cutting-edge research and try to break it down so you don't have to. I'm Pavlov, and with me as always,
Nikita.
You ready to jump into some pretty cutting-edge research?
Always.
This time we're looking at using AI specifically in marketing research.
Ooh, that sounds fascinating.
I know, right? So get this. It's all about using large language models, or LLMs, to partner with human researchers.
Okay, so AI working with us, not replacing us.
That's what really stood out to me in this paper. Arora et al. 2025. It's all about collaboration.
AI human hybrids, and that's a term I haven't heard before.
Right. I feel like we're stepping into some sci-fi territory here.
A little bit, but in a good way.
Definitely. So the paper talks about how these AI models can help with everything from designing surveys
to choosing the right people to talk to.
Even moderating in-depth interviews.
Wow, hold on, AI asking the questions. That's wild.
I know, right? And that's just the beginning.
I am intrigued. Break it down for me. Where do we even begin with this?
Well, the researchers emphasize that it's not about AI taking over. It's about AI assisting us, making us more efficient, and giving us better insights.
So it's like having a super-powered research assistant by your side.
Yeah, exactly. But one that can process information and spot patterns way faster than any human could.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal here.
Let's get into some specifics. The paper dives into how LLMs can streamline different aspects of both qualitative and quantitative research.
All right, let's start with qualitative. How can AI help with something like in-depth interviews?
So think about this. Instead of spending hours crafting the perfect discussion guide,
which, let's be honest, can be a real pain.
You could have AI create a solid first draft for you.
Now, that would be a huge time saver.
Right. And it goes beyond just saving time. The researchers found that LLMs can actually help you identify the best people to interview.
Interesting. How so?
It's not just about demographics anymore. AI can analyze tons of data to find those niche participants who might provide truly unique insights.
Okay, give me an example. I need to wrap my head around this.
Sure. So they did this study on Friendsgiving celebrations. And the AI recommended interviewing people like chefs who were developing special Friendsgiving menus.
Ah, that makes sense. People who are really into the whole Friendsgiving thing and going all out.
Exactly. Or people with dietary restrictions who might be more likely to participate in this modern take on the holiday.
Because they're looking for alternatives to the traditional Thanksgiving meal.
Exactly. So it's about finding those hidden gems who can really provide those aha moments that you might miss if you were just looking at basic demographics.
I'm starting to see how valuable this could be. What else did this study find?
They also explored how AI could potentially moderate interviews, prompting for more details, keeping the conversation on track.
So the AI is asking the questions and getting the answers. That sounds a bit like
cheating.
Well, it's not about replacing human interaction entirely. It's more about using AI to explore different angles quickly and cost-effectively.
Kind of like a rapid prototyping tool for qualitative research. Exactly.
Yeah.
And they even tested this with expert judges who compared summaries generated by AI with those from real interviews. And guess what?
Don't keep me in suspense. What happened?
The judges actually preferred the AI-assisted summaries.
Wait, really? The AI did a better job than humans at summarizing the interviews.
That's what the research suggests.
Yeah.
They think it might be because the AI can process so much information so quickly and identify subtle themes that human analysts might miss.
So it's not that humans aren't good at this, but sometimes we could use a little help from our AI friends.
Right. It's all about getting that extra layer of insight.
Okay, I'm officially impressed. But we've only talked about qualitative research. What about all the quant folks out there? How does this AI magic apply to things like surveys?
You're in for a treat. They actually explored how AI could revolutionize quantitative research, particularly when it comes to survey design. Imagine this, being able to see your potential survey results before you even launch the survey.
Hold on, that sounds a little too good to be true. How's that even possible?
It's called backward marketing research, and it's all about using AI to generate synthetic respondents.
Synthetic respondents, you mean like fake people?
Well, sort of. They're AI-generated personas that represent your target market. So you can test different questions and message framing with these virtual respondents and see how they react.
So it's like having a virtual focus group at your fingertips. It's pretty cool.
Right. And it could potentially save you a ton of time and resources because you can get early insights into what's working, what's not.
I'm definitely starting to lean towards excited rather than worried about this AI stuff. But what about the data itself? Is it any good?
That's the million-dollar question, right? They did this study on refrigerated dog food where they found that the AI could accurately predict trends.
Refrigerated dog food, now there's a niche market.
Right. But here's the thing. The initial responses from the AI lacked the natural variation you see in real human data.
So it was a bit too perfect, too robotic.
Exactly. But then they started giving the AI more context, like answers to previous questions or information from qualitative studies.
And
The AI's accuracy and realism improved significantly.
so the more information you feed the AI, the smarter and more realistic it gets.
Exactly. It's like teaching it to think more like a human.
Is there a technical term for that?
Well, they talk about a couple of techniques, few-shot learning, where you give the AI examples to learn from, and retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, which basically means connecting the AI to a database of relevant information.
So it's all about giving the AI the tools and information it needs to provide the most accurate and relevant responses.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a key takeaway from this whole paper. It's not about AI replacing humans. It's about humans and AI working together to achieve something greater than either could alone.
I like that AI-human hybrids working together to unlock the secrets of consumer behavior.
Exactly. And it's clear that this is just the beginning. The potential for AI in marketing research is vast, and we're only just starting to explore what's possible.
This is fascinating stuff. I'm really eager to dive deeper into how these hybrid models actually work in practice. Where do we go from here?
So the paper talks about creating a spectrum of hybrid models. It's not just one way of doing things.
Okay, a spectrum. So what does that look like?
On one end, you have AI helping out with specific tasks, like maybe drafting survey questions or suggesting interview topics.
It's like a research assistant.
Right. And then as you move along the spectrum, you have AI taking on more responsibility, maybe even leading entire research projects.
Wow, AI as a research director, that's a bit mind-blowing.
It is. But the researchers actually tested out different hybrid models in their qualitative research. And they found that using AI to moderate interviews actually resulted in richer data than traditional human-led interviews.
Hold on, really? So the AI is doing a better job at asking the questions?
Well, it's not about the AI replacing the human interviewer entirely. It's more like having an AI co-pilot, guiding the conversation, asking those probing questions in real time based on what the respondent is saying. So it's like having an interviewer who's listening super intently to every word and can instantly analyze it and come up with the perfect follow-up question.
Exactly. It's about leveraging the AI's ability to process information and identify patterns that we humans might miss.
Okay, that makes sense. But now I'm wondering, if the AI is so good at analyzing data, do we even need human analysts anymore?
That's the big question, isn't it? And the researchers actually address this directly in the paper.
Ooh, tell me more. What did they do?
They had both human analysts and AI analyze the same qualitative data, and then they had expert judges evaluate the results. Blindly, of course.
So it was a showdown, human versus machine.
Exactly. And the results were really interesting. The judges didn't pick a clear winner.
What do you mean?
Some judges preferred the human analysis, some preferred the AI's analysis, and some liked a blend of both.
So it's not a case of one replacing the other, but rather a realization that both humans and AI bring something unique to the table.
Exactly. The human analysts were really good at picking up on those subtle nuances in the data, the things that might not be obvious to an algorithm.
Okay, that makes sense. And AI?
The AI was really good at identifying those broader themes and patterns in the data, things that might take a human analyst hours to sift through.
It's like the classic detective duo. One's got the gut instinct and the other's got the lab results. They each have their strengths, and together they solve the case.
I love that analogy. It really highlights the synergy between humans and AI. By combining our intuition and experience with AI's processing power, we can unlock a much deeper level of understanding.
This is all very exciting.
Yeah.
But I want to bring it back down to earth for a moment. For our listeners who are thinking, this is cool, but how can I actually use this in my work? What are some actionable takeaways?
Great question. So let's start with qualitative research. The researchers outline a roadmap for integrating LLMs. It all starts with refining your research questions and designing your discussion guide.
Okay, so even before I start talking to people, AI can help me get clear on what I'm trying to learn.
Exactly. It can help you structure your questions to elicit the most insightful responses. And then, as we talked about earlier, AI can help you identify those niche participants who might offer unique perspectives.
And what about after we've gathered all that qualitative data?
AI can help with analyzing the data too. Think about things like identifying key themes, summarizing large volumes of responses, even generating those word clouds everyone loves.
So AI is basically a tireless research assistant, freeing up human researchers to focus on the more strategic stuff.
Exactly. It's about leveraging the best of both worlds to get deeper, more actionable insights. Now let's talk about how these principles apply to quantitative research, specifically surveys. What are your hours on that?
Well, I remember you mentioning something called backward market research earlier.
Yeah.
It sounded pretty futuristic to me. Can you break that down for us?
Absolutely. It's all about flipping the research process on its head. Instead of starting with a hypothesis, you start with the outcome you want.
Okay. I'm intrigued, but I'm still a bit fuzzy on how that works in practice.
Think about it this way. Imagine you're launching a new product, and you want to know how different marketing messages will resonate with your target audience.
Okay, got it. So how does backward market research come in?
With backward marketing research, you use AI to create those synthetic respondents we were talking about earlier, AI-generated personas that represent your target market.
So like a virtual focus group. We're back to that idea.
Exactly. You can test different messages with these synthetic respondents and see how they react.
And then I can tweak my messaging before I even launch the actual survey.
That's brilliant. It's like getting a sneak peek into the future of my research.
Exactly. And it offers a few key advantages. First, you can get early insights into potential trends or patterns in your data.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
It can also help you refine your survey questions to make sure they're clear and unbiased. And finally, it can help you figure out the optimal sample size for your survey.
So you can save time and money down the line. Exactly. Now, this all sounds great, but it's important to acknowledge that AI is still a tool in development. There are some limitations and challenges to keep in mind.
Okay, let's talk about those.
Yeah.
What are some of the things researchers should be aware of?
One of the big ones is making sure the AI models are trained on good data, diverse and representative data.
Because if you train the AI on biased data, you're just going to get biased results.
Exactly. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Yeah.
So it's crucial to be mindful of the data sources and make sure the AI is learning from a balanced perspective.
Yeah, makes sense. What other challenges are there?
Another one is the interpretability of AI's decision-making process. Sometimes it can be hard to understand why the AI reached a certain conclusion.
So even if the AI gives you a brilliant insight, you might not know how it got there.
Right, and that can make it hard to fully trust the AI's recommendations. So transparency and explainability are really important areas of ongoing research in AI.
So we need to embrace the potential of AI, but also remain critical thinkers, not just blindly accepting everything it tells us.
Absolutely. It's about using AI as a tool to enhance our capabilities, not to replace our judgment and expertise. We still need humans in the loop.
Okay, that's a great point. So where do we go from here? This deep dive has been incredibly thought-provoking. What are your final thoughts for our listeners today?
You know, it's amazing to think about how much AI is already changing the world of marketing research.
I know, right?
Right.
And we're really just scratching the surface.
Exactly. And this research paper highlights that it's not about replacing us humans, it's about empowering us.
Giving us new tools and new ways of seeing things.
Right. Like you said earlier, AI can help us refine our questions, find hidden patterns in data, even explore potential outcomes before we even launch a study.
This whole new way of thinking about research.
It really is. But, like we've been saying, it's important to approach this with a critical eye. We need to make sure those AI models are trained on good data.
And we need to understand how they're making decisions.
Right, we can't just blindly trust the machines. AI is a powerful tool, but it's still just a tool. The real magic happens when we combine human expertise with AI's capabilities.
It's that collaboration that's going to lead to the most groundbreaking insights.
Absolutely. So what are your thoughts on what the future holds for AI in marketing research? I mean, where do we go from here?
I think we're on the verge of a major shift. As AI gets even more sophisticated, it's going to become even more integrated into our work.
Right. We'll probably see AI-powered tools that can analyze consumer sentiment, predict behavior, personalize marketing campaigns, all in real time.
It's exciting, but also a little bit daunting. What advice would you give to researchers who are trying to keep up with all of this?
I would say stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to experiment. There are so many resources out there to help you learn about AI and its applications, play around with different AI tools, go to conferences, connect with other researchers who are pushing the boundaries.
It's all about having that growth mindset.
Exactly. And recognizing that the future of marketing research is collaborative, humans and AI working together to understand consumers better.
That's a great way to put it. Well, folks, that concludes our deep dive into the fascinating world of AI and marketing research.
We hope you learned something new today and maybe even feel inspired to explore the possibilities of AI in your own work.
And don't forget to subscribe to Revise and Resubmit on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for more captivating deep dives like this one. And if you're enjoying the show and want to support us in creating more insightful content, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. Every contribution helps us continue this journey of exploration and discovery. Until next time, keep those minds curious, keep questioning, and keep revising and resubmitting.